Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to Jay's One Key Event 4th edition. We are rolling right along this quarterfinals weekend at the end of this bit of a mega block of matches, and what a way to finish it off then with another losers bracket match. It is going to be Minus taking on Freek to see who will be continue on to the second half of quarterfinals weekend. As always, my name is Sparky. I'm going to be doing a bit of a solo job here in the commentary booth today as we get this one underway. I don't know what to expect. Minus has been a bit of a rising newcomer in the one key scene. Freek has been in and around for a while now, seasoned veteran of other key modes, and making a bit of a mark here in one key now. But both of them playing for their tournament lives here. The 10th seed versus the 20th seed, about as even Stevens in terms of discrepancy as we can get here. At least in the lower bracket. But for right now, you gotta see what the roles are and see what happens. Looks like Freek's going to be winning the roll 72-14. As a reminder, there are no protects and bans in this tournament, so they'll just have the luxury of picking first. And to be honest, in my experience, not a great feeling going first. I'd much rather be trying to break the first point than picking the first point. So we'll have to see what Freek decides to go for. Already saying that they can't play anything in this pool. I mean, these are pretty hard. We're starting to reach that point where everything's got something that can trip you up. And honestly, Path of Least Resistance, something like Rice 2 feels like the most straightforward. The ending is a little weird. There's a little speed bursts here and there, but in comparison to everything else in the pool, maybe Rice 1 as an outside consideration, but it's kind of pick of the litter, pick your poison, because everything has pain points at this point. Freek's asking if Minus has any weaknesses. They're saying all of them as well. Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, to be fair, people's barometer for what they consider can't play is very different at this stage. It's like one person saying they can't play a map is because they can maybe get a 95 A or like a high A rank on it, and then another person's can't play it is they just can't FC it or something. But looks like we're gonna go for LN1, and by LN1 I mean only LN in this pool. For whatever reason we decided to add an extra Rice this round, but oh well, it is what it is. This one is outrageously difficult for the first, I'd say, 45 seconds, and then it becomes pretty easy to read through. Little trip-up points with doublets and little burst sections, but this introduction is the make or break portion of it. That being said, if you can play through it relatively unscathed, then you should be fine for the rest of the map. Personal experience says if you can get out of the intro with like a 93, 94 with a couple misses, and you can FC the rest, you can basically account for yourself having like a 98, 97% by the end of it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Neither player feeling too confident going into this, but I think they're just downplaying their own performance levels. Everybody is their own worst critic at this stage, so as we get this one underway, going into the doublet, triplet transition sections, both players picking up quite a number of misses through the introduction, but Freek picking up more damage as both of them fall down into that A rank range, and only 2% separating both players. Like I mentioned, if you can get out of this section with some relatively decent accuracy, the crazy thing is the fact that both of them are probably feeling like they lost a point already, but this is still all to play for. 20,000 points on a map like this, as short as it is, could evaporate in an instant, but that was the worst section of the map, so from here, misses will be amplified exponentially as both players attempt to try and get back up over that 400 combo cap. Minus already over the S rank range. Freek not too far behind. Like I mentioned, everything past this isn't too difficult. Minus picking up a slider break, but still holding on to the accuracy. Freek trades it back, the opportunity to try and claw back some of that deficit. It was shrinking. Goes by the wayside, another slider break from Minus, and it's 30,000 points. They might have enough of a cushion. The fact that Freek isn't in a position to capitalize in regards to their accuracy means that they're not going to make too much inroads. And on this next build-up, gonna find the break that might be the final nail in the coffin on this run. The fact that they're just not able to get back up over that S rank range. But Minus starting keeps finding these misses here and there that put a damper on their potential score, but I mean, not going to make that much of a difference as we cross the last eighth of the map. 40,000 points to the good, and Minus in position to pick up this first breakpoint in this match. And oh boy, what a doozy of an opening pick. That could have gone either way, but it will be going the side of the red team. Pretty close overall. All things considered, those ratios are wild. Freek lamenting the fact that they might have had a shot on it. Yeah, I mean, you never know how the other person's going to play going into it. And Minus wasting no time. Speed 1. Going to be their first pick of this match. Pretty difficult map in the grand scheme of things, but to be honest, in comparison to some of the techier things you're doing in the LNs and hybrids, I feel like this is borderline comfort pick for a lot of the players. It's just, can you handle the bursts when they arrive? But they're not the trickiest things in the world. You just gotta be able to transition into them cleanly. So as we get this one started, first triplet section, both players navigating it relatively cleanly. A big accuracy drop, a couple of hundreds from the side of Minus. Gonna drop that down into that 98% range. Gonna give Freek a tiny bit of an advantage to work with, 1,000 points, but it goes by the wayside immediately. A lot of 200s, but both players still holding on to their full combos this far into the map. And it is all to play for. Very slender margins, another 100 from Freek. Honestly, it might just be the scroll speed being their undoing, making them hit a little bit faster. Maybe just needing to anticipate some of those structures. But so far, neither player blinking. I feel like the first person to break will blow this map wide open. A third of the way through already. 23,000 points the advantage for Minus, as Freek doing their best to hold on to the full combo, but paying for it in terms of their accuracy. 97% to the 99 from Minus. And we're not even halfway done with the map yet. Oh, but there it is. The first break from Freek coming through here. A second one as well to boot. Not traded back this time around by Minus. Still holding on to the FC on their side. 44,000 points the advantage now. Still holding on to this 99%. Looking very comfortable in comparison to the LN chart. But finding the break. But that's only going to put a tiny damper on this score climb that they are on. As Freek finds yet another couple of breaks going into this next section. And despite the drop, Minus growing their lead. 56,000 points now, with a quarter of the map left to go. Full of very nasty bursts here. But I think, I was about to say, both players navigating them very well. Freek breaking on the sliders that came after some of those bursts. Very easy to overrun some of those sections if you're not too careful. And sometimes shortchanging them too. The difference of ending it on the same hand versus the opposite hand being the main undoing there. It looked very close at the beginning, but just the stamina wearing out here at the end. And be very careful, the ride is not over after these couple of impacts. Very, very well played. Minus capitalizing on that breakpoint. Ones in every column except the 200s. On what could have been a V1SS, that is ridiculous. But still we continue on. Freek up to pick once again. Looked pretty alright on the LN. Not sure how they fancy themselves on the hybrids. At this point, I would just pick whatever the most awkward chart is and just roll the dice a little bit.
Embrace the flame.
Right now, still waiting for the pick to come through here. I mean, at this point, you can also just pick whatever song you like listening to. Alrighty, so we're gonna go hybrid 1 here. Alrighty, so getting this third map of this best of 9 underway, going into, I say they're all hard, but probably the de facto, Jay's one key event hybrid of all time, at least for the round. Both players missing at the exact same time, so no harm, no foul. It's just who takes more damage off of that miss, and it looks like Freek takes the extra misses for the road as well. But Minus actually capitulating a couple of drops of their own as we start to dive into the real meat of this chart. But once again, just not able to capitalize on the situations is Freek. As we continue on, the bursts into the LNs, catching them out here. And on we continue a third of the way through the map. There are a couple of drops from Freek down into the A rank range. 4% the accuracy comes between both players. Minus building their advantage, 77,000 points to the good here. As that score continues to climb, it's just these transitional bursts. Yeah, they're picking up a couple of slide breaks on their end as well, but just paling in comparison with regards to the amount of damage being taken to the overall score. And the double is catching both players at different intervals. It's once you start putting those sections together where it's really easy to get lost in terms of where your hands need to be at any given time. And with a quarter map left to go here, 124,000 point gap between both players. This one might as well be done and dusted here. Minus gonna be picking up another break point to try and get it to a match point situation on their next pick. And I mean, honestly, with the way they've looked on Speed 1, I wouldn't be surprised if they just went for Speed 2 after this. So we'll just wait and see. Very strong run from them. A good effort from Freek, but unfortunately not going to be enough there to get that point, as it is now 3-0. And sure enough, immediately Speed 2 going to be the pick here. Alrighty, so one of the longer maps in this pool. Pretty cult classic kind of a song here. And here we go, fourth map of this best of 9. Minus looking to try and get to a match point situation here. Both players opting for the skip, not wanting to wait for that long introduction. This map pretty much in the same vein as Speed 1. The LNs in it are pretty negligible in terms of needing to kind of pay respect to them. So you're really just needing to handle the bursts littered throughout. And it's very easy to get lost in the sauce a little bit, as Freek is doing here as we get through this first major breakdown section. You get a bit of a break as you build up to the next transition. This next burst isn't as fast as folks might think it is. It's just a 1-6 to run. Both players navigating it beautifully as Minus crosses that 4-inch combo cap. Still knows it is 99.6% accuracy, 2% ahead of Freek for the moment. 25,000 points to the good here. As a couple of LN transitions going to catch out Freek with another couple of slider breaks. And it's like the tempo change here. Gonna build back into the main tempo. Third of the map already gone. 50,000 points almost. The advantage for Minus for the moment here. Freek doing a good job to build up some combo here to try and rebuild. It's just watching out when those LNs do pop up in between the bursts, but gonna find another break here to bring it back down into that low 97% range. And each one just feels like a couple thousand points being given over, and with half the map left to go, it needs to be a big drop from Minus here to give the point over. And they've just looked so comfortable on these speed picks. Another tempo change before diving back on into the main BPM of the chart. And more in terms of this halftime feel. Meant to trip up the players, but I mean, neither of them are really falling victim to those massive feel changes. And because of that, I mean, Minus still holding on to this FC run, 91,000 points to the good. 8th of the map left to go. It's just going to see what the score is going to be at the end of the chart. Very courageous effort from Freek, but not going to be enough to scratch this performance from Minus. What a way to capitalize on yet another break point and to make it a match point situation too. 987, almost a 990k run. A singular 50, heart and mouth moment potentially, but no harm, no foul at the end of the day. Now Freek up to pick once again. They went hybrid 1. And now we're gonna go for Rice 4. This is such a fragile chart to play through. It's literally TV sized. A singular miss is like 15,000 points given over. The introduction is the hardest part of the songs. It's basically the LN1. It's just you're dealing with death streams at the end of it. And it just feels it just feels like you're just uninhibited smashing your key as you try to hang on. Alright, potential last hurrah, but like I said, this is going to be determined within the first 30 seconds, I feel like, depending on how these flams go. There's so many flam taps at the beginning. It's very easy to spike this entire section if you overhit that last one. And Freek gonna be the first one to find the drops, Minus not answering those back. Actually handling that section very nicely. We'll have to see how they transition into these longer streams. And still holding on to the FC, Freek picking up a couple of misses, 47,000 points. I mean, this map is short enough where that can swing on the streams at the end, so I'm not going to call this done and dusted, but I mean, they can't really afford to be bleeding over that many more points from this position. But, I mean, can you handle 200 BPM streams? I imagine the answer is yes, but gotta be able to get into the breaks in between the single taps and the double tap breaks. Here we go. First major stream coming through. Both players hovering in the center of their UR bars. The tap doesn't catch either player out. Freek picking up a couple 200s on the double tap, but both of them hanging on here. Oh, Freek finds a break before the next transition. And unless Minus just completely spikes this next section, this might be it for this match. 148,000 points to the good Minus with the FC at the end of the day to put a nice little bow on proceedings. 987k once again, 4 200s on that run. What more could you ask for? A valiant effort from Freek, but they will be bowing out at the quarterfinals, and Minus will move on to the second half of the weekend. to potentially face off against, let's see here. It looks like they're going to be playing up against Alemanno tomorrow at roughly around the same time, 18 UTC. But that will officially do it for us here. The 16 to 19 block of matches is officially done. We can finally take a tiny bit of a break. Once again, congratulations to Minus. Their weekend not over yet, but over the first hurdle. And that's all you can really ask for as we wait to see the next match. And the next match is going to be another losers bracket match, 22 UTC. It will be Wowie taking on Mari. And then the hour afterwards, it will be Jackson taking on Decinius. And that will actually be a doubleheader. So Jackson Decinius and the All Mexico battle, Asael versus Happer Gamer, to see who will be continuing on. And that will do it for the Saturday block of matches. And then we return at 12 UTC on Sunday with more high-flying action. You do not want to miss it. But until then, we'll catch you guys later.